Today's journal was a little bit odder than most. So I had a mild epiphany today, and that is this. I only remember the funky stuff in my dreams and not whatever the hell else went on. So that's what's going on. Because I know last night I dreamt a bunch of stuff, and I was like, ooh, I gotta remember that, ooh, I gotta remember that. But there's only one thing I remember from last night's dream. And what it is Dad and I had a conversation before I hit the sack about people growing into their abilities as they grow old. And somehow in my mind, that got wildly exacerbated. Um, he was talking about, yeah, I didn't know I was good at anything until this, that, and the other thing happened. And then I was good at this. And uh, your aunt and uncle, blah, blah, blah. And then they were good at this. And then, well, who would have guessed? Your brother would be good at exotic dancing. Which, if you ever met my brother, you'd know that's not possible. But in the dream, he was like, "Yeah, look at him. He's a dancer and he thrives. He's just doing great." It's like, no, he's not. I don't know why I dreamed that. I didn't see him doing that. It was a conversation we were having, and that was what was brought up. But I just thought, why in the world would my brain do that? That's weird. So again, with these dreams, trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Right now, I'm just catching the farts of lightning in a bunch of paper. Was a start. I do figure I'll use this platform to advance little epiphanies I've got when they come. Thing of it is, I want to get back to comedy and performing and what have you, but I mean, until they stop the insanity, I gotta wait for the gyms and the coffee shops to open. Essentially, I can hit the road again. Anyway, um, I've had this epiphany. About 3 days ago, I was out in the garden, and it was raining very slightly, just so that the clouds would go in front of the sun and you could still see light. And while I was standing there, I was thinking about the cat, and the cat had been watching a bird outside and just chattering. You know how they chatter. The cat had in his mind an idea of the bird, but couldn't get outside because of the window. So I opened the window and let the cat outside. Then the cat went walking around the garden looking for stuff and forgot all about the bird because the cat was generally an indoor cat. It's my cat because she's usually on the road with me in the RV. She doesn't get to go out much, so when she does go outside, she just kind of looks around and sees stuff and explores stuff. And she was very excited in terms of adrenaline. And I realized that she'd forgotten about what she originally thought. But now that she's in a new state, she was exploring it. And so she wasn't tired or fatigued, even though before she might have been. And I realized three words that could represent a new wing of scientific exploration. Ideas create energy. Ideas create energy. And I mean that in the literal and metaphorical sense. So, in a literal sense, when you have an idea, it prompts action. Action prompts energy creation. I'm not saying now, uh, they say in physics that in the universe we live in, energy can be neither created nor destroyed. It's basically transferred from one medium to another. Okay, if we're being technical, fair enough. Fair enough. I get that. I get that. So when you put gasoline in an engine that's of the internal combustion variety, that combustion, which gives your vehicle power, isn't really a creation of energy. It's a release of existing energies and a reappropriation of it in such a way that gives you propulsion. Fair. I get that. I get that. But when I say ideas create energy, I mean it's like a metaphysical version of the combustion engine, right? So, just as there is a physics to reality, there is a physics to morality, as in every action has an equal and opposite reaction, as Newton's Principia says. Now apply that to the metaphysical reality that shrink wraps the cosmos. So, accordingly, because there is a metaphysical nature to existence, and what goes around comes around, every you reap what you sow, and action has a reaction. That means there's probably a way of officially, of repeatably, of sustainably, of predictably understanding that metacosmos, that metaphysical physics. Now, a lot of cultists do, but they are using the dark side of the force, and that's why they use the word occult. Occult is a word which means hidden. It's from oculus, eye. Basically, they're hidden. The eye is hidden. You know, they got the one eye open. Now, I'm not doing that, but one of the reasons they do that is because the word is derived from a term which means to hide from the eyes of everybody else. So they learn this psychological knowledge, which is an action reaction relationship with the metaphysical reality we inhabit, and they don't share that information because they know that they would lose the control they had, because what they're doing isn't that complicated. It's really simple. It's, in fact, stupidly simple. It's just a way that anybody who really thinks about it will probably come to, but people have come to it thousands of years ago, saves everybody else a lot of linear exploration, which takes time, trial and error. So they've got this psychological way, which is using the metaphysics of reality. One of the ways they do that, for example, just if you think I'm whistling Dixie, the term logo is from the term logos, which is what the word of God that was logos in Greek. Well, a logo is an archetype of a concept. It's basically a zip file for an idea. It's a distillation or an aggregate or a gestalt condensed down into a single. Look at that thumb. Uh, that I can't use that as a metaphor. Um, a thumb drive. A thumb drive. You can put all that information on there. You can put gigabytes on a thumb drive, and that's all that the thumb drive is. Gigabytes could be a library. It's all condensed down. Um, or a square. A square is like a summary of a cube, right? The cube is more dimensional, but the square is. So a logo like Wendy's. The Wendy's logo is a picture of this redheaded gal who's cute and young, bringing you food. Now, as an adult, we look at it one way. As a child, she looks mature. On the front of her little dress, there's a shape. It says mom. There's a little brooch that's a circle, and the fabric makes a little M. And you wouldn't realize that. Subconsciously, that gets in your mind. So that impels you. The M of McDonald's. The check of Nike. Just checking it off. Apple has got a bite out of it. That's a forbidden fruit right out of the Bible. So that's hearkening back to that. Oh, look, have a bite of the forbidden fruit. The apple. Ooh, you'll have the hidden knowledge. So that's kind of insidious. Windows is the same thing, opening the windows to the digital realm. In fact, Silicon Valley itself is steeped in this kind of thing because they are digitizing it. They're finding a way of codifying it through computers. And that's why Facebook and social media and all that's out in the high grass right now controlling people, is because they've created algorithms, and through advertisement money, because that's how they make their money, is advertisers on the sidebar and everything. They have an impetus to understand what motivates people into action reaction. So ideas create energy. When you have a thought, it impels you to action. Additionally, a thought leads to a domino effect of additional thinking that sends you somewhere, down a path or what have you. Ideas create energy. There is a metaphysical physics to reality, and you can see it in logos. And the occult, which controls many of the leaders in our country, sort of use that against us. They use that hidden knowledge. Now, I don't dabble in that stuff because part of the hidden knowledge is this. The information that human beings have been given is only a small piece of the picture, just enough to get us in trouble, not enough to actually be edifying, because there are variables in that equation which require a transcendent existence beyond our dimensionality. So we're always going to get it wrong. Anyway, ideas create energy. Think on that.